How we doing, everybody? It's Cam Underwood back here at the Voice of College Football. We're talking Miami Hurricanes all day, every day. So be sure that you hit the like and subscribe and notifications for all these videos because, like I said, I am doing more of these. Also, as you see over there, managing editor of State of the U. So please come on over and fan with us at stateoftheu.com because we have tons of Miami Hurricanes content, including recruiting content, which is why we are here today. In case you missed it, on Friday, after an unofficial visit, four-star elite cornerback Jaelen Waters committed to the University of Miami. This is a really, really big get for Miami as we continue to rebuild the secondary of the defense. We had a ton of transfers in the transfer portal for this current season and are building it moving forward. So he's the second cornerback in this class, joining Camden Portis, son of Clinton Portis, coming to Miami in this class. Jaelen Waters, this is a kid that Miami had been chasing for a good long time. We were already trending in his recruitment very strongly through the end of the regular season into like New Year's and the beginning of 2025. That really picked up even more steam when Will Harris, the coach who had recruited him, left Florida to come to Miami. So let me take it all the way back for you. Jaelen Waters goes to Sefner Armwood. That is a powerhouse program, a legacy program in the state of Florida. He was high school teammates with Gerard Pringle and Kellen Wiley this past season, playing defense, with Wiley, at linebacker, and then Waters at cornerback. That team made it to the regional finals, so a deep run into the FHSAA playoffs, one of the most competitive states for football anywhere. As things progressed, Waters is one of the rare players who has actually now been committed to all three Big Three programs in the state of Florida. First, he was committed to Florida State, decommitted, flipped to the University of Florida, being recruited by Will Harris, and then decommitted from there. He famously tweeted out like a head scratching or a wow emoji after Will Harris decided to leave Florida for Miami. But like I said, Miami was already trending in that recruitment before that. Will Harris moves down to Miami. Everybody in the recruiting world is saying, hey, this is really picking up steam. Looks like Waters is going to go to Miami. He came down for an unofficial visit for the third day of spring practice. And like Ben Congdon did on Monday, after his unofficial visit, Jaelen Waters finally committed to the University of Miami this past week. So let's just take a couple quick looks at some things with Jaelen Waters. So here, 6'1", 170. Think he might be a little bit bulkier than that, not much, probably in the 175, 180, 85 range, so maybe 10, 15 pounds. But again, as a current high school junior, as the time of recording this, that's okay. He can grow into his physicality and into the frame that he has. As we look at the photos, and I bring some of these up, you can see. Well, let me get to a really good one. So if you look at him playing for the Raw 7-on-7 team from South Florida, look at the arm length. Like, he is in that mold, that build of cornerback that you want to have. 6'1", long arms, loose hips, playmaking ability. Just, again, right here, you can see he's all like legs and arms. Like, this kid is just, he fits the physical profile perfectly for what you want at a cornerback. As you see on the 247 Sports Composite there, top 150 in the country, number 15 cornerback. I think that's a little bit low. I think at the end of the cycle, he's going to be closer to like the number 5 overall corner than he is to number 15. So definitely a top 10, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there is where I think that he will land at the end of the day. But still, very highly rated player, number 22 in the state of Florida. Again, I think that will rise. As you're seeing other teams pursuing him, still the University of Florida. I know it says Will Harris was the recruiter there, but he now works here at Miami. Wesley McGriff at Auburn chasing him as well. And then, Harris and Etheridge teaming up on that recruitment here in Miami. So official visits on the deck coming forward into the May and June time for Jaelen Waters. So just something to keep an eye on. In the last 2 years, 20 tackles each year. With some PBUs and interceptions per max preps as a 10th and 11th grader, helped Armwood reach regional finals. Also track and field, sub 24 and a half in the 200 as a sophomore. That's pretty decent. So we love to see the speed playing up as well. So we get rid of that, which we were showing. So that was kind of his, his recruit card, all of those kind of things. Where does he fit in this class, Jaelen Waters? He's the second highest rated commitment behind Jordan Campbell, the linebacker from Carroll City. So elite. He's another blue chip guy. All of the five recruits in this class are blue chip caliber recruits. They're all, 4 stars. I think that Waters and Campbell can push towards maybe 5-star status. And there are a lot of guys that Miami is recruiting, chasing after on the trail, that are currently 5 stars, even when there's only 12 5 stars currently listed for the future class. And we all know that there's about 32 per year. So they're in that rarefied air of prospect that we're looking to get. Love, taking a player away from Florida, it's a double win for Miami. You get him on your roster and you take him away from a rival's roster. So that's perfect. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do, he also fits in with Camden Portis. So that's 2 blue chip corners in this class. That helps cover for the future of the secondary. And there are other players that Miami is looking at, but this is what you need to do when you miss on a DJ Pickett, when you miss on a Ben Hanks Jr. from the previous classes, right? There was a kid from Georgia, LaRue or something, that Miami was chasing after, was committed to USC, and then didn't end up getting him. Not as big a hole on the roster as like a Pickett or Hanks, but you need to get players of Jaelen Waters' caliber when you miss on the players of that caliber in the previous year, even with the preponderance of transfers that we got in Ethan O'Connor, in Zachariah Poyser, who I know plays safety, Charles Brantley, Xavier Lucas, I forget the kid's name now, but the kid from Arizona, the 6'3" corner. So we got a lot of guys in, even guys with multiple years of eligibility in the transfer portal, but you still need to have the foundation from high school, and you still need to be getting these elite players like a Jaelen Waters. So now, as we go forward, let us look at what I think you guys are probably here for. Let's look at the film. So if I click here, and I do this. Yes, Guardian. All right. So this is his huddle. I'm sorry, not huddle, quick cut highlights. All of this is up on stateoftheu.com. I'm trying to write a welcome to the U article for every single player that gets that commits in this class. And I'm 2 for 2 to this one. Well, I mean, the first 3 were already committed, but I'm really trying to dial back in on that. So all this is up there. So we can watch this together. You can see it on the screen. Let's check it out. So even here, he's listed as 6'2", 175. So it's an inch taller and 5 pounds heavier than his recruiting profile on 247. Either one really works, but still, this is even better if this is accurate. So the thing that you're going to want to watch first is he's always going to be on the outside. This is not a 5'11", 6 foot, 5'9", slot corner. We need guys to play the slot. So I'm not saying that those are bad, but he's not one of them. He is a pure outside corner, 6'2", put him on an island. What you were trying to get in the guys that I mentioned, the Ben Hanks of the world, the DJ Pickett's of the world, previously Cormani McLean's of the world. Like, you want a big, tall corner who you can set on an island on the outside, and Jaelen Waters has that kind of physicality. So even on that first play, you see he does get hands on the guy, redirects him inside, and then jumps on top of the route. Okay. Inside, hands, double move, gone. Give me that. Right. So again, lined up outside on the X receiver. Miami has needed X receivers on the offense, and you need a corner that can match up against them on the defensive side. We want that to be Jaelen Waters. Let me turn off this huddle or this music. And then the camera work there was really bad, but his jam and close coverage, got the timing off, and then the quarterback threw it on time, but the receiver couldn't even get there. Whoop, incomplete. If that's on third down, you're off the field, you're punting, the other team is punting, you got Ray Joseph whoever back there to return. Like, these are the kind of plays that you need to see. And you're also going to see a lot of times where Jaelen Waters showcases good ball skills to find and locate the ball, something that Miami corners have struggled with in previous years. Bang. Look at that. Look, we're going to go back and watch that one again. Gets hands on him. I know that it's a short completion, rallies to the ball, great tackle. And then, whatever they were really planning to do on that play, they had to adjust it because, if you just look at the Chuck, boom, right there. Whoa, what are you doing? Where are you going? Nowhere. Again, bottom of the screen and the X receiver. In his hip pocket there on that little, that comeback, that curl route, nowhere to go. Again, the quarterback read that he was going to go to the fade because he saw that the comeback wasn't there, and it's incomplete. We're going to watch that one again. So look, doesn't bite. He's there. Okay. Quarterback thinks, okay, up the field. Nah, nothing there. Again, bottom of the screen, lined up on the X receiver. Double move, nothing. Plays through the hands, doesn't really look back to try to intercept that one, but he was playing a little catch up. Okay, they hit the tunnel screen. And then, that wasn't necessarily on him, but it goes back and helps to recover. Top of the screen, X receiver. Sorry, I think my computer was lagging there. Let's go back and watch that one again. Good hands on him, turns and runs, step for step, nothing. Bottom of the screen, X receiver. Again, notice how many times we've seen lockdown coverage from him, the quarterback side adjusting, okay, or reading the options here. Either I can throw the comeback or I can throw the back shoulder fade or the fade up the sideline. And how many times, at least twice, maybe three times on this highlight alone, we've seen the lockdown coverage from Waters taking away the comeback where the quarterback says, okay, the only option I have is to throw it over there. And it goes way out of bounds for an incompletion because the receiver thinks, okay, I'm going to break this off. I'm open over here, causing the miscommunication and the incompletions directly because of his elite coverage. Again, this is the kind of skill that will play anywhere. And as he continues to develop his body and his game, this is the kind of player that you want to see at the University of Miami playing on defense. Off coverage, running with them, goes through the hands on the goal line, passing complete. So he's shown a variety of coverage skills there, or styles, techniques. Okay, here's a guy, he's the last line of defense on kick coverage, gets a guy on the ground. Remember how many times we struggled with that last year when that last guy on kick coverage was Robert Stafford? You know what I mean? So now, even if you're working on specials, he shows a willingness to tackle, which hopefully he would also have in the run game. But as a mainly cover corner, you're not going to see much of that on his huddle or his highlights, quick cut, whatever. Follows his receiver inside, turns around, goes and makes a tackle for a short gain on the run. So again, being a complete defender, mirroring the inside slant, having his head on a swivel, seeing the run go to the out to the boundary where he was, and going and making a play. Was it the biggest hit in the world? No. Was it Sean Taylor against Brian Moorman in the the Pro Bowl or anything? No, it wasn't jacked up, but it's on second down. You only get a 1 yard gain. Now you're in third and long where we can really lock down and showcase those coverage skills yet again. Okay, playing a little bit of off coverage. Again, lockdown, top of the screen, man to man. Nothing. Top of the screen. Dropped a book there. I need that one. Made a great play to jump inside. Yeah, you can see my cursor. So yeah, they're basically trying the outside receiver. So the X is on an arrow, and then with the bubble kind of thing behind it, the other defender steps up because you're manned up, so he's over the number 2. And as he tries to fake the block and then slip, he's there. Waters is there, but he drops the interception. Right? Yeah, need that. Got to have that, kid. Got to have that. Again, just outside leverage or inside leverage, pushing him outside, completely incomplete, or yeah, just incomplete right there at the goal line. Nothing going on. Lob it up to the outside because there's nothing there. Top of the screen. Wide receiver takes an outside release and gets bullied. And I love the fight after the run completes. A little sluggo, little double move there. Nah, incomplete. I'll show that one again. So the receiver tries to stutter, so he's going inside to the the slant and go, or the just fake the inside to get the outside release on the fade. Here, Jaelen Waters doesn't bite for it. See, still there. He stuck that right foot in the ground. He's coming back. You're coming back right here. Now, if I know this wasn't the play, but the receiver, if you wanted to run to the middle of the end zone, just I got this inside release. Look at how Waters' shoulders are open to the inside, so he's trying to take away the outside. If you can run in here to the middle of the end zone, maybe. But again, I'm not looking at the rest of the defense. But that would be where this receiver could win. Going outside, this fake stunt inside to get outside and win on this, that's not happening today. Okay. Oh, he is playing inside here. I don't know what they walked, but yeah, so they actually walked him so he's over the number 2. Again, remember counting from the sideline, 1, 2, so he's over him. And he follows him and takes him across. Nothing. Every single play that you see, and obviously this is a highlight, Jaelen Waters flashes the physicality, the athleticism, and the technique that you're looking for from an elite player at the cornerback position. So he is joining this recruiting class for Miami, the fifth recruit to be committed in this class to Miami, adding elite talent, elite size, and recruiting profile to this roster. This is why you continue to recruit schools, even if you are not successful. So Miami has seen success at Sefner Armwood in the last 3 cycles that had never been seen before. If you're thinking back to guys previously, like a Guy Hall, the wide receiver and everything, I know that Miami let that recruitment drop because there were character concerns with that player, but there were previous players from there. Warren Thompson years ago, who went to Florida State. I think he was committed to Miami for like 43 minutes one July evening because I wrote the Welcome to the U and the decommitment piece in the same hour. It was crazy. But there's even more players from there that Miami never got and tried to. And that's going back to, Al Golden, days and even before that, right? So you stay consistent building those relationships because the schools that produce players are going to continue to produce players year over year over year. Miami Central, Sefner Armwood, Northwestern, Central, St. Thomas Aquinas, Chaminade, wherever you go, Bishop Gorman, even if we're going out to Nevada, the schools that produce players will continue to produce players. And Miami has been unceasing in their efforts to get into Sefner Armwood and get a foothold in recruiting. Get Gerard Pringle and Kellen Wiley, who was one of the late risers, one of the biggest risers in the 2025 recruiting class from Sefner Armwood. Now you go back there to the same team and get Jaelen Waters. Huge recruiting win for Miami, huge recruiting win for the secondary, and it's proof positive that the investments in recruiting the same schools over time, even if you're unsuccessful once, can bear fruit into the future. So that's our look at Jaelen Waters, the fifth commitment to Miami Hurricanes recruiting class in the class of 2026. For the full write-up on him, the Welcome to the U piece, please go check out stateoftheu.com. And for more here at the Voice of College Football on the Miami channel, please be sure that you like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.